Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. John Mason. I'm with Masters of the Journey. Today I have our special guest, Ayesha Ashley, and she's going to be telling us how we can find even better comfort and awareness by erasing your inner critic. And as you can tell, I'm calling in from the Pacific Northwest. It's a beautiful, misty morning. And I welcome Ayesha to our call. And please tell us how we can get involved with erasing our inner critics.
Thank you, John. I don't know about you, but as far as I know, most people have an inner critic, and that inner critic can be pretty brutal. It's usually a phrase or something that somebody said to us, especially if it begins with you. You know, if the words in your mind begin with you, somebody said it to you, a parent, a caretaker, a teacher, an enemy, whatever. But you have it in your mind in a specific tone of voice. Now, your inner critic always uses the same words. And so we're going to use that against it and erase it. Okay? So I don't have much of an inner critic left because I learned this process many years ago. So we're just going to turn it over to you so you can use it. It's very easy, it's quick, and you will be free of that ugly voice in your head that makes you feel bad, embarrassed, ashamed, all of those things that you feel because somebody has yelled at you or told you something really ugly about yourself. And as a kid, which is when most of this happens, we really don't know what's true and what's not true. But now as adults, we have a much better idea, and we have the right to be free of this inner critic that was put into our heads when we were young, and we normally can't get rid of it, but we'll do it today, and it's very easy. And John's going to demonstrate how to do this. He doesn't know quite how yet because I haven't told him. Well, the only words of my inner critic that I have left, because I've used this process, I have an inner critic that says to me in this tone of voice, well, that was stupid. You have one like that, John? Maybe not the same exact words.
No, but I definitely judge the errors or the flaws in my behavior, and I'm not positive about them most of the time. Sometimes I laugh at them. Sometimes I don't.
Well, if you can laugh, you're a better man than I, Gangadin, because for years I was tormented by these. So it's a very easy way to get rid of it. So for me, the words that I want, that my inner critic has left with me is, well, that was stupid. And you hear the tone of voice. Now, when we're using the procedures here of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And what NLP teaches us is that a lot of what we hear and see is connected to us emotionally. So if we remember an argument or, for heaven's sake, an accident that we witnessed, it can plague us. It can replay again and again. And we'll talk another time about how to get rid of visual problems. But this is an auditory problem. This is a word, only you hear this. This is your inner critic talking to you wherever you are. And you all know when that happens. Yeah. Well, that was stupid. So in order to get rid of this inner voice, you have to keep the same words. So for me, the words are, well, that was stupid. Okay. Now, I always hear it in the same way. Well, that was stupid. So what we have to do is use the same exact words, but we use a different voice. Can you all see that? Can you read that? So we're going to use the same words, but we're going to change the voice. Now, can you do a Donald Duck in your head?
Good. Probably, yeah.
That would be, yeah. So if you were saying, well, that was stupid, and Donald Duck, can you hear that? Yeah, and it's laughable. right? If you don't like Donald Duck, I think it's easy to do Mickey Mouse. Well, there was, whatever that voice is, I can't do it. Another way to deal with this is to sing it. Well, that was stupid. It doesn't have the same kick. Do you feel it? Or you can change it into a question. Well, that was stupid. And then your inner voice will say, no, no way. You see? So all of those ways are how we get rid of it. So we're going to install that in you. Now, you probably have some inner critic thing that you've heard all your life. You don't have to tell us what it is. So find the one you'd really like to kick out of your mind.
Okay. Yep.
You got it? You got
Yep.
it? Okay. Now, also make a choice. Do you want to hear it as Donald Duck? Because you're going to use the same words, but you're changing the way your voice sounds. So do you want Donald Duck? You want Mickey Mouse? You want to sing it to yourself? Do you want to make it into a question? Choose a strategy.
Okay. Okay.
Which one have you chosen?
Well, I think I'll try Mickey Mouse, and I'll just
Good,
try.
good.
I'll try a high voice.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not going to say it out loud. This happens in our heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how we install this is you're going to start hearing it in the beginning of how it always sounds. Some kind of voice. Okay. Well, that's stupid. All right. So you're going to begin that. And when I say mouse it, you're going to change it into Mickey. And we're going to go through that 4 or 5 times until when that voice starts, it automatically switches to Mickey. How good is that? You're done. Okay. So step 1, start in your mind. Just hold up your finger when you're starting it, please. Yeah. Yeah. That's 1. Yeah. Your finger. Yeah. So let me know you're so ready. Begin hearing it in your mind. Mouse it. Right? I see you smiling, so it must have hit, right? So do it again. Start off in the usual tone and then mouse it. Start. Good. That's the way it should be. It makes you laugh. Do it again. We're trying to make this automatic so that when it starts in your mind, it immediately goes to mouse. Okay? So let's keep doing this. Start it in your mind. Mouse it. Got it? Start it in your mind. Mouse it. Start it in your mind. Mouse it. Okay, now we're going to test and see if it is installed. So I want you, without my prompting, start it and see if it automatically goes to Mickey. Okay?
Yes.
It automatically goes to Mickey. Goodbye, critical voice. You're done. So from now on, when that starts, you're going to mouse it immediately, and it should happen automatically because we've installed it. Is this a quickie or what?
Yes. Yes. And for the audience, what plays in my mind is sometimes when I get angry or go into judgment, I go, there you go again. And when Mickey says it, it's pretty funny.
Yes. And you could use Donald Duck, or you could sing it, or you could do 8-year-old. I would be, let's see, I can't remember yours, but what was yours again?
There you go again.
There you go again. All right. So if I wanted to sing it, I go, there you go again. It's different. It's the same exact words, but you're changing the tone of voice, and it cannot connect to the nerve endings that have that emotional response that makes you feel bad. That's how precise neuro-linguistic programming is. So,
good.
Yeah. So And you're pretty sure you got that one installed. Do you want to try another one? Let's go through a couple. I mean, you don't have to tell us, but you got another. You must have another one. People have a whole array of these. I used to have a drawer full, especially if it starts with you, because that means somebody said it to you. You should know better, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I quit on hearing that one a long time ago. I'm very oppositional, kind of like you. And
Who, me? Oppositional?
yeah, well, I know I am. So you should know better. My father used to say things like, "Who's ever heard of such a thing?" Like when I do something that seems pretty normal and average, but because he was several generations removed from me,
Yeah.
well, he was 50 when I was born. He
Oh,
didn't he
goodness.
didn't think that was normal, or so who's ever heard of such a thing? But that didn't have a U in it. Even though he
That's
was
okay. It doesn't
accusing
need
me.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to, you want to use Mickey again? You like him?
Mickey is good. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So start who's ever heard of that and mouse it. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Like I say, I laughed the whole thing at, even when I hear in my head my father saying that. That's funny to me anyhow, because
Okay.
because just because he hadn't heard of it or he uses that phrase, I knew that everybody else in the world, it was pretty common and everybody's heard of it.
Well, what we are doing is we're getting rid of those phrases that were installed in us in some way by a friend or a parent or a teacher or who knows, but it's stuck with us. And every time we hear it, we get that feeling that, something's not right. And we
Yeah.
don't need that. We just don't need that.
So one that I don't have, but is pretty common, is you're not good enough. You don't
Oh,
deserve this. You know,
that let's kill that one. Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
don't have those, but I know that for the viewing and listening audience, those are things that will come up a lot.
and
You don't,
what are the words? You're not good enough.
you're not good enough. You don't deserve this.
Okay,
Look
let's
what
try
you have done.
okay. Well, let's try you're not good enough, because that's when I lived in Kansas City, I had a client who was a computer programmer, a lovely woman who for decades had trouble reading because a teacher said to her, "You're too stupid. You'll never learn to read," in that tone of voice. So we get to use the procedure, right, which is change the voice. And one way you can do this is to make a question. You're not good enough? You'll never learn to read? And then your mind says, no way, right? So if you have one with a you, make a question out of it. You're not good enough? You'll never read? And then your mind says automatically, no way. So that's another technique. So what if you can't do Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck, you can make a question and you'll get that answer like ridiculous. I don't believe this. Okay. If I can sing, so I could take my thing and sing it. It doesn't matter if you can sing, you can hear in your voice. Well, that was stupid. It doesn't connect. So however you choose it, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, ask a question, sing it, and install it the way we watched you install it. Go through it several times. The minute you get it, you change it. Not the words. The words are exact, just the voice.
Got it.
Got it? So let's try that, everybody who's listening. So what was the phrase you gave me? You're not good enough?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have that. So everybody who's listening, start with you're not good enough in your mind. And as soon as you hear your, switch it to your choice. Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, sing it or make it a question. You're not good enough. No way. Okay, so let's let's install it. Start now. Change it. Same exact words, different voice. Start now. Change it. Start now. Change it. Now, when you start, do you automatically go into your solution? For you, it's Mickey Mouse, right?
Well, for the first one it is, but for the you're not good enough, or you don't deserve it, or something like that. That's not really, the issue for me.
Good. But I mean, whatever technique you choose, make it a question. So you hear the answer, no way. Change it to Mickey or Donald, or sing it. I mean, sometimes you can just convert it into a song, or do an 8-year-old on it. You're not good enough.
Yeah, and I have to admit that as we're recording this in the year 2022, some people aren't as familiar with Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Because those were things that I know that we grew up with, and
that's right.
And perhaps the question or the singing or using some other abstract voice that is probably more current will be useful for the viewers of this video.
You bet. If you don't know Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse, don't use them. Don't even think about it. Convert it to a question, or sing it to yourself, or just change your tone of voice radically, Or if you know how to use accents, you could do that, If you hear it in British, it's not going to make quite an impression. Or better yet, if you could do it in Russian, or who knows. But whatever you do, the words stay the same, your voice changes radically, and it becomes laughable. You don't take it seriously. Your inner critic is conquered.
Thank you. That's just great.
Enjoy.
Yes, and if people have specific questions or they want coaching, will you tell them how to get in touch with you?
Yes, you can call me at 406-570-6705. 406-570-6705. And just call me and say, hi, I saw your video, and this is my ugly voice. Help me with it. And we can do that over the phone.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing this brief but powerful NLP technique. Ayesha Ashley is our speaker today, and she has the wisdom of years of training in NLP and many other things. So
yes.
Thank you again. Are there any other parting things you want to say before we
no, well, next time when we do the NLP, we're probably going to deal with things that come into your mind as images. When I learned these techniques, I was teaching at a college, and I went into class and I did the technique with the whole class. And a guy came up to me afterwards. I didn't know. I mean, I had 35 kids. And a guy came up to me. He said, "You can't believe this. I witnessed an accident outside of my house years ago. And every time I replay it, I get the same feelings of horror. And it's gone now." That's using the NLP with a visual image, and we can do that next time.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, there are certain representational systems. The auditory one is one where you hear it, the visual one, the feeling one, the kinesthetic one is one that you would feel. And those are the three major representational systems that we operate within.
I should have explained that, but you did a better job than I did, so we're good.
Again, thank you, and we'll see you next time. Really appreciate what you're doing, and Ashley, it's always a pleasure to have you on one of our videos. I'm sure it serves a lot of people. I hope people are willing to share that. There will be a little bit of contact information below in the description of this video, and I hope that it serves you well. please take good care of yourself, be of service, smile, say thank you, and don't forget to tell people that you love them. You may not get that opportunity ever again.
And goodbye, inner critic. Goodbye forever.
Enjoy your beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank